What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And to my Wednesday morningers, y'all know why I'm excited. We've made it to Hump Day Wednesday, which means the weekend is only 2 days away. I don't know why I'm extra excited for the weekend, but I just am, man. You know, I love a weekend, but I love a summer weekend even more. All right, I got two lead stories for you guys. We're going to kick it off by talking about the NFL, who was under fire after the active NYC shooter meant to attack their offices due to CTE demands. Also, Diddy could be released from jail this Thursday, July 31st. We did a live today. We have an update on the new date that Diddy could be released. In quick news, we got a bunch going on. We're going to talk Beyoncé, Donald Trump, Epstein, Cenat, DDG, Drake, Tory Lanez, Elon Musk, GloRilla, Inventor Julian Brown, Katy Perry, Justin Trudeau, Mary J Blige, Misa Hylton, Shannon Sharpe, Antonio Brown, Karrueche, and Deion Sanders. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. We'll start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. NYC shooter intended for the NFL headquarters, but went to the wrong floor. I hate when I start off a show so hype and then I have to get serious like this. But I do want to bring you guys up to date on what's going on with the NYC shooter, okay? The GUN man who unalived 4 people in Manhattan office was trying to target the NFL headquarters, but took the wrong elevator. He played high school football and had a note in his pocket about CTE. All right, I'm going to try to give you guys some information that is not being spoken about on mainstream media. I spoke with somebody in New York close to the situation, and this is what I have for you guys, all right? So this man, I forgot his name. What's his name again? Ugh, I had his name. Anyways, they're just calling him the GUN man. Anyways, he had a history of mental illness, and you guys know that I'm a huge mental health advocate. Again, not giving any excuses for him, but he did have a history of mental illness. In his note, he had grievances with the NFL. And in that note, he claims to have been suffering from CTE, which is brain debilitating disease linked to head trauma from hitting helmets, playing football. CTE exactly itself, CTE, can only be diagnosed after somebody has passed away, but there are signs that you could tell before. Now, a lot of people that think they have CTE often do these things to themselves so that their brain can be examined. And I would love for somebody somewhere, some doctor or some scientist to find out how to be able to test and help people with CTE and not have to wait for them to no longer be here to examine their brain. And this is exactly what his letter said. It said, "Please study my brain. I am sorry. I wrote this name down wrong. I think it's Nick. Tell Nick I'm sorry. The NFL knows about CTE and they're hiding it." So Will Smith did a movie on this. I'm sorry that I didn't do my due diligence and get the name, but I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, Concussion. But just really sad that people have to be struggling with mental health, and we're so far behind when it comes to mental health that we don't have enough things in place. And now I'm not going to get into a big mental health discussion because I know some people don't always see things eye to eye on that, but this is a clear indication of somebody that needed help, didn't get the help, and felt like he had to bring awareness to CTE. And the only way to do that in his mind that he has, don't forget, he has a history of mental health. So don't try to understand it, because you're never going to understand what is going on in the mind of somebody who's suffering from mental illness. But in his mind, let me bring attention to it. And to bring attention, let me drive from Vegas to New York City to the NFL headquarters. And unalive people, it's going to get all over the news. They're going to see my note in my pocket. And hopefully you guys will put enough pressure on the NFL and the football leagues, or like you said, he played in college football, so NCAA, etc., to do a better job at protecting NFL players. That's what this story is all about. And that's, of course, what mainstream media is not going to focus on. But I wanted to bring that up here. To give and shed light to the victims, the first person that was unalived was an off-duty police officer that was in, I think, the lobby of the building. He was off-duty, unfortunately, just trying to make some extra cash. Really sad. He was an immigrant from sorry, my handwriting was really quick. I don't want to say where from, but he was an immigrant, okay? He had 2 sons, and the saddest thing about this whole story is that his wife was pregnant. 2 sons, and his wife is actually carrying their 3rd child right now, and he was unalived. Really sad. I think what I wrote down here is Bangladesh. So immigrant from Bangladesh, wife being pregnant. Really, really sad. Couple other notes that I have here was just, they found other GUNs in his car. And another thing to note is that the NFL headquarters are on a bunch of different floors. And apparently from what this person told me who is there, that the NFL floor is very guarded. And there's turnstiles and security guards, etc. If he had gone to the NFL floor, the proper floor, he wouldn't have gotten far anyways, because apparently it was very heavily secured. Of course, that's why he had that big long nose GUN with him. But people are saying if he would have gotten on that floor, he wouldn't have gotten to anybody in the NFL anyways, because it was very heavily guarded, which was one of the first things I said. It's like, NFL in a building that you could literally just take an elevator and walk to their floor and just be like, hey, what's up, people in the NFL? I definitely wanted to get information to that. So no, you cannot just walk into the NFL offices. So that is all I have. Like I said, I think more what we should be focused on, of course, the victims, the other 3 people that were unalived, the officer as well, sure. But this is not a situation of somebody just doing something for no reason. There's always a reason behind these things. Again, not excusing them, but what is the core of this? And the core of this is mental health. And we just have to, we're not going to obviously solve it in one day, but we have to do a better job at trying to bring more mental health services to our citizens. Let's put some money behind that and not some other things that the government is spending money on. Y'all already know. Let's not get into it. But that's all I have. If any more updates, I'll let you guys know. Until then, let me know what you guys think in a comment section below. Our second lead story. Diddy's lawyers propose new bail package for release, a $50 million bond secured by his estate and co-signed by 3 people, limited travel, U.S. pretrial supervision, and passport surrender. All right, we went live today to bring you guys some breaking news. Possibly Diddy could have been released today. His lawyers and his legal team sent a letter to the judge. The judge obviously heard it, read it, and I have an update as soon as I got off of the live. And the update is the judge has given prosecutors until Thursday to respond to Sean Diddy Combs' request that he be released from jail before sentencing. So that is the update that I had for you guys only after I got off of the live. So now the new date that Diddy could be released from jail is this Thursday, July 31st. I will, of course, be, not on the ground because I don't want to be there if he's not released, but I will be close. I'll have my flight booked. I'll jump on there and get to the ground if he is released. But, guys, I do have sources. I do have people there. We'll let you guys know, the minute anything happens, okay? Now, I'm not going to go through all of my notes as in detail as I did today, but for those who missed the live, I'll give you a very, very quick update, okay? So Diddy's lawyers filed for motion for him to be released. Very important to note, this is just another bail request, a request for bond. Nothing to do with sentencing. We have to take the emotion out of the sentencing. He has been found guilty for the Mann Act, which is transporting people who selling their cells for sex, transporting across state lines. Okay, that's what he's been charged for. He'll be sentenced, but now his lawyers are asking, can he be let out of jail before sentencing? And here are the reasons why. Okay. Diddy himself did not benefit from the actual hiring of escorts. It was Jane and Cassie. I'll give you quickly my opinions. I think this is a poor piece of, whatever you want to call it, reason for him to be let out. No, he didn't actually benefit in the actual act of sex because it was Jane and Cassie, but Diddy was there pleasuring himself looking at it. We have text message there. So what is the benefit? Is the benefit penetration, or is there still a benefit of him enjoying it in the chair? You know what I mean? So I think that is the first point. That's pretty weak. And by the way, while I'm speaking, I'm going to put the 12-page case that they've given to the judge. If you guys want to pause and read the whole 12 pages, you can. I'm just going to give you in point form, okay? Another point that they tried to make is that the views on sex has changed since the Mann Act went into law. Basically, they're saying, hey, this law was around 115 years ago, from 1910. Why are we looking at this now and implementing this law in 2025? And I have to agree with them. The transportation of escorts in 1910 is vastly different from today. You have Southwest, you have these airlines that literally, like, within an hour, they get you from state to state. In 1910, it was very, very different. So the example I gave today is that if you're staying in Southern Jersey and you find somebody that in Philly and you want them to come over, and yes, I understand that prostitution is illegal, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Mann Act, which is transporting over state lines. We should look into this law and update it. And somebody from Philly that you meet online and you're just like, yo, I'm going to pay you, and you cross over state lines. That is what Diddy's in jail for. And regardless of how you feel about Diddy, just think about that. That's a little bit ridiculous, right? If you were in Jersey and hired somebody in Jersey, it would literally be a misdemeanor. But 25 minutes, an hour away, somebody jumps into an Uber and cross states lines and comes over, and that's what you're in jail for close to a year. A little bit of crazy work. Another point they tried to make is that this is an unprecedented prosecution. All the major charges has been dismissed. Why is he still in jail? What is that saying? Hey, I understand you denying bail when he was being charged with RICO and being charged with 2 counts of SCX, force, fraud, and coercion, but he was found unanimously not guilty for that. And now he is only being charged for the Mann Act, which I just broke down to you how simple it is. Why would you not give him bail for that? What is the reason, Judge? The prosecution will have until Thursday to give them reason. Now, they basically highlighted that all he did was pay for sex. They were all consenting adults. That's something that they would like to point out, right? Let's not forget he was found not guilty for force, fraud, and coercion, meaning that all the participants, the escorts, Cassie, Jane, him, everybody involved, even the agency, they're all willing participants, all acting adults, doing whatever they're doing. Why is he the one that is in jail? Another point was, in the history of the Mann Act over the past 115 years, every single person that has been found guilty of the Mann Act has been given bond before sentencing. Why is he in jail before sentencing? And again, just giving you what the defense arguments is. These are not my words, okay? The act was designed for people making profit off of it under an enterprise. Diddy was a customer. Let me break that down. The Mann Act was for people that had a organization of escorts, and they would be sending them across state lines. That's why they created this law, to stop that. Let's say somebody maybe had 10 or 15 people. Diddy was never even accused of having his own enterprise doing this. He is the customer. He is the John. And the people who normally are been found guilty of this are not the John who's using the services. It's the man or woman who's orchestrating the services. His lawyers argue that this is hypocritical. Every single person that was involved in these acts are not in jail. I already said that to you. Cassie, Jane, the agencies, and the escorts. They were all willing participants. Why isn't he free? And they also put the fact that NDC is a horrible jail to be in. He should be let out. A lot of judges have said that this is horrible conditions. And that's basically about it. Now, the NDC jail thing about having that being horrible conditions, we all know about that. I think it's a weak argument. But it goes to the fact of, look, you have this man in jail awaiting sentencing, and you have him in a deplorable jail cell, and he's only been found guilty of the Mann Act, which most or every single person that has been given bail, and you don't even have proper conditions to hold him in bail. So on bail. So that is it. In closing, what I will say, and then I'll hand it over to you guys to comment in the comment section below. What I will say is, beyond this, what I believe Diddy's team is working on doing by asking for this, yes, of course they want him out on bail, but Diddy has been found guilty. He's going to get at least 2 years. He was arrested September the 27th. His hearing is October the 3rd. Let's say he gets 2 years. He'll probably be let out October the 3rd. If the judge gives him 2 years, he'll probably get off on time served because it's 2 years. You've been there a year, it'll be time served. So if he gets out now and he gets sentenced in October the 3rd, he'll have to go back in for 2 months. So yes, will they like him to get out now? Fine, but they know he's probably going to have to go back in if he gets let out now. So why would they be actively trying to get him out and he's going to be sentenced in 2 months? Is for them to say no. Because if the judge does say no, the prosecution has some sort of comeback and the judge says no and keeps him in, this makes Diddy look like a victim. And this plays to what Diddy is going to do when he gets out. Again, not being on his side, I'm just reporting and letting you know what I think is Diddy has been gaining momentum. Since the CNN video came out, he looked horrible. He, DV, putting his hands on Cassie, all these bad things. But as the trial was going on, we expected to hear all of these things that he was accused of in the civil suits. And most of the stuff that we heard in court had nothing to do with these civil suits. It was Jane, it was Cassie. There's a couple of bad things, but he gained momentum. And a lot of people were on his side saying, this is not RICO. I don't see any force, fraud, and coercion. And all I see is two freaky people having a swinger lifestyle. That's what the jury saw. So I say all of that to say is that keeping him in jail and not letting him out on bond the day that he was found not guilty, and then a week, or was it now a month later, it makes Diddy look like a victim. Mark Agnifilo said that in his closing arguments. I was right there. He said, the government is going after Diddy. They're trying to bring down a successful black man. They're out to get us. You don't want the government to be able to do these kind of things to us. So even if the judge denies Diddy, he still wins because he will look like a victim. Something like what Trump has done with all of his court cases. He used that in his presidential run, saying they're trying to get me, they're out to get me. Don't let the government be able to do this to me because they'll do this to you. I'm just like you. They're just trying to make me. That is what Diddy's team is going to try to do, and that's how they'll gain momentum, painting him as a victim, and for the government not to let them do this to you. If they could do this to a billionaire, imagine what they could do to you, the people. That's how they're going to spin this. So, like I said, that's all I got for today. Check out the live on our YouTube. I spent an hour. I took questions. I talked with everybody who's commenting. By the way, thank you everybody who tuned in today. Miss doing lives with you guys. But for now, comment below. I will see you guys live on Thursday and let you guys know what the judge decides to do and if Diddy will be out on bail. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour becomes the highest grossing country tour in history. Beyonce closes out her Cowboy Carter tour in Vegas with a surprise appearance from Destiny's Child, Jay-Z, and Shabuzi. We all know that. Let's get to the juice here. Now, here it is. First woman and American act to have 2 tours closing over the $400 million mark, and the first country tour. Does this really classify as a country tour? I know it was the country Carter album, but I feel like it's a little cheating. And I'm sure the country, people are going to be up in the uproar, but that's probably what Beyonce wants. So shout out to Queen B. Our second quick story. All right, somebody sent me this in my DMs, resurfaced pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And I just wanted to throw this out here because, of course, everyone's still talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and, what goes on. I want you guys to look at this picture very carefully. The caption is just a description of the picture. It says, Donald Trump and his then girlfriend, Melania, and Jeffrey Epstein with Ghislaine Maxwell at the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, February 2000. Look at their faces, y'all. Here's another picture. Look at Jeffrey and Trump. Does that look like 2 guys that really don't know each other and see each other once in a blue moon? They look like they're boys. Melania and Ghislaine, and they look like they're partying, man. They look like that's some Diddy parties going on. You know what I'm saying? They had a freak off of their own. Just wanted to throw that out there, and shout out to the person who sent this. Our third quick story. Kai Cenat's girlfriend, Gabrielle, says Kai doesn't let anyone drive his cars, but I told him that's part of being in a relationship. Yeah, I totally disagree. I like when girls drive my cars. Kai Cenat's girl says that she should be able to drive his cars because that's part of a relationship. Take a listen.
Y'all, Kai don't let nobody drive his cars. But I told him that's a part of being in a relationship. You let your girlfriend drive your cars.
Nobody drives my cars except for me.
Yo, Kai will understand when he gets a little older. Yo, that's the move, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got a whip, and you got your queen driving you up in your whip, and you're just, you're on the phone, you're making business calls, whatever, and your girl's driving. Are you kidding me? Now listen, if it's nighttime and y'all going out, okay, fine. But during the day, I like my girl driving me around. He'll learn. Our fourth quick story. DDG goes off on social media users calling him out for throwing seafood shells in the water. Y'all N-words too sensitive. Take a listen.
Why can't I throw some seafood in the sea? It's there. It's dead crabs at the bottom of... Man, I ain't finna sit here and argue with y'all. Cancel me, please.
In this day and age, I don't understand why people just don't use Google. Very, very simple. It is generally not recommended to throw seafood shells directly back into the sea. Very, very simple. While some shells might naturally decompose and contribute to the ecosystem, there are potentially downsides to consider. Done. You should just avoid it. If you think you know something, ask ChatGPT or ask Google. It's 2025, people. People get mad at me when I Google stuff. I'm not into arguing with y'all anymore. I want facts. I want receipts. You're wrong, DDG. Our fifth quick story. Drake thought he saw his ex at his concert. This was hilarious. Take a look.
I thought we knew each other for a second, crazy.
I don't think he thought that was his ex. I think he just didn't know what to say, and he was caught off guard of yo, what's this girl doing? More importantly, if Drake is walking through the crowd like that, why isn't security stopping wild people from just walking in and walking in front of him? It's Drake at a concert. Chubbs, what's up? Our sixth quick story. Tory Lanez might be released as early as August 18th. The California Court of Appeal has scheduled oral arguments for Tory Lanez's case for Monday, August the 18th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in Los Angeles. There's a possibility he could be released following the hearing. All right, I let you guys know this yesterday in social discussion because I wanted to know if you guys want me to go down there and cover the trial live. A lot of you commented and said, yes, I'm going. More importantly, I did find out another piece of information. Most appeal cases get denied and only 1% of them get to oral arguments. That should let you know how unprecedented this is and how much of a big move this is on the part of Tory Lanez' team. I've been hearing whispers that he has a great case and he has a great chance of being released. Again, like Diddy, I'm not saying I want him released, whatever. I'm just talking to you from a court legal standpoint. Tory Lanez might be released from jail August the 18th. We will be there live from Los Angeles the day before and the day of to let you guys know what's going on. Our seventh quick story. Elon Musk co-signs a viral meme predicting Ghislaine Maxwell's alleged Trump pardon scenario. Elon Musk is stirring the pot again on X, this time by reacting to a viral meme involving Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump, and the eyebrow-raising theory about how things might play out post-Epstein scandal. All right, here it is. And this is what they're saying it's going to go down. Ghislaine names a bunch of Democrats, maybe toss in a few billionaires, says Trump didn't do anything wrong. MAGA praises her for taking down PDF files, and then Trump pardons her for telling the truth. That's how they think the scenario is going to go. And I don't think this is too much of an unlikely scenario because y'all know that one thing that Trump likes to do is take down Democrats. So I feel like his lawyer that spoke to her, hey, maybe if you say this, maybe if you say that, maybe if you say X person or that person, we might give you a little pardon. You know Trump, man. This guy likes making deals. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I'm going to hand this to you guys. Do you think President Donald Trump, who was elected by 7 swing states by the popular vote, do y'all think that he will pardon Ghislaine Maxwell if she says all the things that he wants her to say? I think we all are in accordance with this, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 8th quick story. GloRilla pops out with NBA player Brandon Ingram in Cabos for her birthday. All right, I think we've talked about Glo, 2 or 3 times already this week. Glo is still celebrating her birthday, 30th birthday. Shout out to Glo. I actually thought she was a lot younger than 30. I mean, 30 is still young, but yo, shout out to Glo. Anyways, there has been speculation of her being with Damian Lillard, her being with Speedy from Complex, and she popped out Cabos with Brandon Ingram. Shout out to Glo. Y'all know I'm a big fan. I'm always going to support everything that Glo does. Shout out to Glo. Our 9th quick story. Inventor Julian Brown's mother reportedly says he's safe after he claimed that he was under attack and disappeared online. A viral inventor known for turning plastic into fuel went silent on social media in July after posting a concerning video. His mother has since reportedly told the Daily Mail that he is safe. For those of you who don't remember the video, here it is. I'm just happy the brother is safe. Take a listen.
All right, listen, everybody. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on. I'm certainly under attack right now.
Once again, his mom has disclosed that he is safe, but declined to disclose his location or provide any other details, stating that withholding information was in the best interest of his safety. Those who want to follow up, a couple of people DM me and ask me about this. He's safe. Our 10th quick story. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau spotted at dinner together in Canada. They were in Montreal. Here is a little video clip of them. Take a look. Now, I forgot the name of the restaurant. I think it's called Le Violin or something like that. Anyways, the chef has been doing some interviews. I know somebody that actually works there. They do say that there wasn't anything to speculate that it was romantic. Like they weren't walking, holding hands. They weren't like, no PDA, no kissing or whatever. But you could tell just from the video that I played that it wasn't, let's say, like a business meeting. You know what I mean? Like they weren't sitting down. There wasn't publicists. There wasn't whatever. Like clearly, they know what they were doing. And most of the times when celebrities do things like this, it's to let people know that things are like a little bit official. So from what I've heard, this is not the first time they have met. For those of you who don't know, Justin Trudeau got separated or divorced 2 years ago, one of the two, but he's definitely single. And Katy Perry has been single for the past 6 or 7 months. I think the person told me. I don't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, they broke up. So they're both very, very single, talking officially on a date in Montreal. All right. We'll follow up and let you guys know what's up. Our 11th quick story. Basketball player Dean Drayton accused of allegedly leaving baddie stranded in Turks and Caicos after she refused to sleep with him. All right. This OF model put this up in her stories and said, Dean's security left me outside in the middle of nowhere in Turks and Caicos because I wouldn't have sex with him. All right, look, this could, I don't think we have enough context to draw an opinion on this. But from what we know, just like look at it at face value and assume, hey, he reached out to this girl, they spoke, he borrowed to Turks and Caicos, hoping something would happen. She was like, nah, I'm good, playa. Here's the problem that I have with Dean. Bruh, that's on you. And that shows me your insecurities and it shows me your whackness. The fact that you thought you had swag enough, to talk to this girl, this OnlyFans model, bring her out here. I thought, oh yeah, I'm this big ball player, whatever, blah, blah. And you thought your money and your influence would be enough to close the deal. And it wasn't. And she decided, nah, I'm good. Or maybe she was never interested and you got played. Either way, to just leave a girl just stranded in Turks and Caicos, my opinion, that's whack. That's whack. Now, bring her back to wherever you guys took her from and then never want to talk to her again, fine. But I think the onus is on the man in this situation. And if you got played, you got played. Really simple. Don't act like a sore loser and just leave the girl stranded. Like that's, to me, in my opinion, that's whack. And like I said, again, it could be so much more than that. Maybe it was something that was discussed prior and, he felt like that she reneged on the deal and that's why he left her. But even at that, I personally wouldn't do something like that. That's just my opinion. I think that's whack. I just think that's whack. I'll leave it to there. Y'all let me know. Very interested. This should have been like social discussion of the day. What do y'all think? Ladies and men, your opinion on this. I think it is a normal, we've seen this a million times where a guy is interested in a girl, you take her out. Every time you go on a date, it's a chance. And you don't close a deal, I feel like that's on you. You messed up somewhere. You got her interest somehow, whether it be money, it's swag, or bop, whatever. And something you did along the way, she was like, nah, playboy, and that's it. You got to take the L like a man, dog. Bring her home. Peace. All right, you got me. On to the next one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 12th quick story. Mary J. Blige says Misa Hylton's $5 million lawsuit against her was just clout-chasing move to ruin her reputation. Says Misa's management company doesn't legally exist in New York anyways. All right, y'all remember when this was big headlines, Misa and Mary J. Blige suing each other over, what's the guy's name again? Gosh, they were in court together. Votto. Anyways, I knew this was frivolous. I knew it really didn't make sense. Misa and Mary J. Blige have been friends for years. This is just, over money and silliness. Just to let you guys know, nothing more to it. Mary's not getting sued. I'm sure they'll handle this in the background, but case closed. Our 13th quick story. Shannon Sharpe allegedly paid $23 million settlement to Gabby. Should we be saying her name? I think she's still technically a Jane Doe. Anyways, might cost him more in the end. All right, this is Tasha K. This is Tasha K, by the way, calling her Gabby. I'm just reading what she wrote. I think I had a little clip, but I'm actually not even going to play it. Anyways, Tasha K is alluding to the fact that she knows that how much Shannon Sharpe paid out. You guys know the lawsuit was for $50 million. Somewhere around half seems logical. So $23 million, which is money that Shannon Sharpe hasn't even made in his whole career, which is crazy. I'm sure he maybe set up like a payment plan or something. Anyways, Tasha is also alluding to the fact that according to their settlement, their tape was supposed to be destroyed, but there's another person that's suing Shannon, because as you know, when you settle civil lawsuits, it opens the door for more people because they know you're willing to pay. And there's another civil suit that's lurking around, and a judge might order the other judge not to destroy this tape because it sets a precedent. So it's not over for Shannon Sharpe in the legal field. Like I've said to you guys every time I talk about Shannon, I was a fan. You guys know my day one listeners. I always try to rep for Shannon, fellow content creator. I don't care if he was an NFL player. He was a fellow YouTuber. If you ask me, it's a wrap here for Shannon. His reputation is totally over. From what I heard, ESPN is not hiring him back. Like I said, I don't see how Shannon is going to be able to get the guests that he used to have on his show. And Shannon Sharpe himself wasn't the personality. You didn't tune in for Shannon Sharpe antics or Shannon Sharpe's opinions or Shannon Sharpe, like how you tune in, for example, like a Stephen A. Smith. You tune into Stephen A. Smith to hear Stephen A. Smith. You tune into Shannon Sharpe to hear interviews of Cat Williams and other people. And I just don't think that he'll be able to continue, unfortunately, because I think he's a decent guy. Although this civil suit is maybe think a little differently. But anyways, it's not over for Shannon Sharpe. Stay tuned. Our 14th quick story. Antonio Brown says this to Karrueche. Karrueche, baby, this man doesn't have a bladder or toes. What are you doing? And this comes after video circulated with Karrueche saying was by Deion Sanders' side in the hospital as he underwent surgery to have his bladder removed. Now, online, everybody was speculating, is Karrueche and Deion Sanders together? Months ago, I told you that they were allegedly together, but hey, it kind of just maybe went under the radar. I know a couple other content creators touched on it too. Now, Karrueche was in this video that was recorded May 9th and only put out yesterday. And now people are speculating, hey, are you guys together? Are you friends? Tell us something. Now, I text Karrueche, and I'm not going to give you guys the details, but I will share you a post that she just put on Instagram with her and her girlfriends in Ibiza saying she had a good time out in Ibiza. So this is indirectly Karrueche being Karrueche. And by the way, she wrote this. She says, went on one of the most magical trips with a bunch of beautiful women surrounded by pure love, joy, and authenticity. Blessed to celebrate this with you, and I hope we could make this a yearly thing. That's on her Instagram. Basically, Karrueche says it's none of y'all business, and she ain't talking to nobody. So I'm going to continue that of what she's saying indirectly. All right? Read between the lines, y'all. And AB, I know Antonio Brown is like, he's just going to do what he does. He has some mental health issues on his own, but I think we maybe as content creators and blogs don't need to give attention to Antonio Brown every time he says something crazy like this. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, y'all. This brings us to my favorite segment, comments of the day. All right, before I get to my comments of the day, y'all know I have a very, very important question for y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. And like I say every day, if your credit card or information, if you use Apple Pay, if you buy stuff online, you are susceptible to data breaches because your information is on the web, all right? And Aura can help you get all of your stuff off of the dark web. Just go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud to get a free 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has been exposed. Let me give you all some more detail. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your cell phone or why your inbox is flooded with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm on legit sites. Also, legit sites do this. Legit sites sell your data to data brokers, and they take your information and then it gets leaked out onto the dark web, Aura could get rid of all of that for you one swoop. And they're offering a free 14-day trial to show you what they could do. They'll take all your information off. You could start from zero and depend if you want to continue with them to keep your stuff off or not. But at least they could show you if any of your information has been leaked. All right. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Y'all know you're a part of my family anyways. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. Some of you may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like leaving your front door locked and keeping your back door open. They are an all-in-one digital security platform, and nobody offers you what Aura can offer you, okay? With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web. You get real-time fraud alerts if any of your credit card or banking information has been used or leaked on the dark web. A secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based support round-the-clock customer service. If anything does go wrong, Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance protection. Nobody's offering you all of this, okay? Take advantage right now, free for 14 days. Link below. I'll also put up the QR code. Take out your phone, your camera, and follow. It's free for 14 days, man. It's free. What else do you need here? Okay, now, truth be told, I forgot to take an actual screenshot of the comments, but my comment of the day was you guys picking me yesterday. Thank you so much. Well, hold on, but you guys picking me. We had a pick the finest one, and it was like Breezy with Chris Brown, Odell Beckham, Damson Idris, a couple of other guys, and there's one guy in the corner. I'm like, who is this guy, Keith? Let's replace him with Trent out loud. I was like, all right, guys, who's the finest one? And y'all picked me. Yay! That's my comment of the day, man. Love y'all. Thank you very much for picking ya boy. All right. Thank you very much for Aura for sponsoring the comment section. And guys, please keep commenting. I read them every night before I go to bed. It's what puts me to sleep. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep commenting. And thank you for the votes. Yo, Breezy, Damson, yo, I'm coming for y'all, man. Yo, I'm coming for the title, yo. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Ari Lennox says Martin Lawrence's jokes about Pam's looks still hits a nerve. She says, I always felt a way about that. All right, I'll give you guys a little bit more context, but Ari Lennox is speaking up about a convo that still cuts deep. Ari reveals that she's never been able to shake how Martin clowned Pam during his show. She said, it really bothers me. Here's some more details.
Pam was so fucking beautiful and so fine. And I just feel like growing up as a chocolate girl, like, I don't even know if I was able to understand the greatness of Pam because of the light that I feel like I was being fed.
So here's my social discussion of the day. She's bringing this to a color thing. Pam was dark skinned and she feels like, he wasn't, glorifying Pam. Now, this is a comedy show. And for those who are fans of Martin, you know that the characters were written to go in on each other. Pam dragged Martin and Martin dragged Pam. Let's not even talk about Sinead and Jerome in the house. Like, that was the show. That was the characters. But to be fair, do you think that one of our Black, institutional shows should have done a better job, even back then, at amplifying Blackness? And to add to the second part is it fair to hold accountable shows, Twitter comments, anything from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and hold it up to today's standards? What goes on today is not the same as what goes on that went on 20 years ago. So is it fair to take art or take something from them and hold it to today's standards? I really don't know. Because at the end of the day, a standard should be a standard. And what Ari is saying, although some people are dragging her saying, oh, this generation is too sensitive and this or whatever, blah, blah. But, I'm kind of torn, and you guys know when I'm torn. That's when I bring things to social discussion, because I see both sides where it's like, you know what, if we would have done a better job back then, we understand that it wasn't something that was, in that era. But if we would have done a better job amplifying all shades back then, would we be more advanced than we are today? I think that's what she's trying to say. So is it fair? Do you agree with her? And part two is it fair to take a piece of art, a comedy show, etc., from 10 or 15 years ago and hold it to today's standards? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. Adam Sandler reportedly paid $275 million for Happy Gilmore 2. Gosh. Sorry to make two sports news back-to-back golf. I don't know how many of you are golfers out there, but this is a big thing in the golfing community. Happy Gilmore was held as like one of the most highly regarded golf movies ever, and everybody was saying that we needed a part two. Adam Sandler reportedly got paid close to $275 million. It's on Netflix. Any of you have seen it out there? It got actually horrible reviews, but I want to know if any of you guys saw it out there. Talk about a hole-in-one deal. Adam Sandler is reportedly pocketing a jaw-dropping $275 million as part of his extended partnership with Netflix. And yes, that includes his highly anticipated return of Happy Gilmore 2. The comedy legend first inked a $250 million deal back in 2020 for a 4-film deal. After crushing it on the platform, the streaming giant doubled down, renewing for another 4 films for an even bigger price tag. Netflix and Adam Sandler are unstoppable. That's big, yo. Close to $500 million from Netflix. Any of you guys out there watch Happy Gilmore? Let me know what you think about it. Like I said, horrible reviews. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend. Let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. That is it for me. That is a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Really, I'm in an extra good mood today because I did a live. I love doing lives. I'm going to have one day, I think after summer, I was talking to somebody in my DMs about this, and I feel like after the summer and everyone's back, I'm going to try to figure out a way how to do my shows live. The interaction with you guys is so much more fun, and it's just, is it funner or more fun? Whatever. Anyways, check out my live I did today, and thank you for kicking with me. All right, before I let you go, just want to remind you one more time, here is a QR code to sign up for Aura. Trust me, if you're ever worried about any of your information being leaked, Aura can walk you through 14 days free trial. They can remove all of your stuff. They just want to show you what they could do. And again, after, they will show you some plans that you can stay on with them if you like what they offer, but they're willing to offer the Out Louders a free 14-day trial. All right, so make sure y'all sign up. Lastly, before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. For those of you who are used to watching on YouTube, if you're ever going on a flight or going in the car, you don't have access to internet, have no fear, because the show is available on all podcast platforms, and you can download the show and take us with you. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. All right, so download the Trent Out Loud show, take us with you. Now, that's for my YouTubers. Vice versa, for my podcast listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, for all your downloads. We appreciate y'all. However, I think this is my first double however today, actually. However, we would love for you guys to come and hang out with us on YouTube. It's a vibe out here. This is where all the Out Louders hang out, congregate, and talk. Also, too, we have our lives over here, all right? So thanks for the support with podcasts. Come over to YouTube, okay? Just go over to the app or the page or site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Couple of things you're going to need to do, 4 very important things. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. We need to get the algorithming. Also, please try to comment. I do the show alone, but you are a part of the show. I ask you guys your opinions and ask you guys to join in on commenting. If then you guys comment, I'm literally just talking to myself, and it is not fun. For those of you who don't necessarily want to join in on the conversation, totally understand that. What you can do is just say, hey, watching from wherever you're watching from, this is a global podcast, and I love to see which country, continent, city, wherever you're in. I definitely want to know where you're listening from. And lastly, if you're really, really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it definitely helps in growing the channel. I appreciate y'all. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, most active on Instagram, but available on all social platforms. And it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. We also have a blog page on Instagram, the Trent Out Loud Show. That's where we post stories before we do the show and after we do the show, just letting you guys know that some of the things that we'll be talking about during the show. Also, for the videos that we can't play in length on YouTube for copyright reasons, we'll put it up in length on the Instagram page. All right, so make sure you follow us there, the Trent Out Loud Show. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you once again for hanging with me, and thank you for tuning in to my live. I'm out. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.